Gross. Gross. What an awful game. Like, awful game. One of the worst, and I don't think I'm exaggerating. Let me know if you actually think I'm exaggerating, but one of the worst Celtics games I think I've watched. And, you know, if you disagree with that, then definitely let me know, but I don't know how you can disagree with that. Like, it was one of the most horrific Celtics games I've watched. Now, I already see it in the chat here. Matthew's saying, not worried at all, just annoyed. That's going to be the theme of this. So this stream probably is going to seem a little, whiny and moany. No kidding. Like, that was just a god-awful Celtics game. Obviously, this team is still performing really well. Like, you know, it's going to seem like a spoiled brat didn't get his way today on this stream, and that spoiled brat is me. I totally understand that. But still, that was such a bad game. So, yeah, you know, not worried. That's definitely not the word I am, but that was incredibly gross. I'm surprised I was able to get my ass on here and stream. You know, I must have thrown up 10 times really quickly because I was watching that, and I'm not kidding. From the word go, I was like, oh, crap, it's one of those games. And let me say this, too. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back in a moment like this, but what did I tell you guys in the last post-game stream? I said, I don't know about this Sunday game. It seems like a trap game. I said it, fully thinking they were going to prove me wrong. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. But anyways, for those of you that missed the game, the Celtics lost to the Knicks. Yes, by the way, everything you're hearing is correct. The Celtics lost to the Knicks 105-75. If you're not good at math, I'm not good at math, but I can provide this information. That's a 30-point loss to the Knicks. 30-point loss to the Knicks. Yeah, let's get to some of the comments here. We got a few rolling in. We'll get to some of them. And then, before we do get to the comments, I got to tell you guys, if you're watching on Periscope, I see a lot of comments on Periscope. Make sure you're checking it out on YouTube. I tweeted out the link, so head over to the YouTube channel. That's where we're going to be doing these streams, you know, moving forward pretty soon. So a lot of you guys that are OGs of the stream that watch on Periscope, make sure you start transitioning over to YouTube, subscribing to the channel, and liking this stream. But, we'll get to some comments here. Like I said, Matthew started it saying, not worried at all, just annoyed. I completely agree. Annoyed probably is an understatement, though. Like, I'm irritated. I don't know about you guys, but, like, you know me. I love the Celtics. That ruins my Sunday. The only saving grace of this Sunday is that if I jump on this stream, shout out to you guys, and have a good time venting about it, and we have some laughs and stuff, because that's the type of thing that ruins my Sunday. Obviously, there's worse things going on in the world, and there's people doing who knows what. But still, me, that ruins my Sunday. So, yes, I'm irritated. You know what I mean? I'm not just annoyed. Annoyed is the type of thing where if someone's annoying you, you can be like, all right, I'm just going to ditch this guy like he's annoying me. I'm irritated. No matter what I do, I can't leave this in the past unless we have a good stream. So, that's on Utah, you guys. I almost said that's on Utah. I'm rattled. Here we go. PJ saying, thank God that shit show is over. I'm telling you, halfway through that game, I was literally, for the first time in so long, I was like, just wave the white flag. Don't even finish the game. Oh, man. Adnan checking in saying, Brad Stevens sucks. Why does Jaylen Brown get to run the offense and have Kemba play off ball? So, I'm not ready to say Brad Stevens sucks. He sucks. But I will say that Jaylen Brown and Kemba didn't look too good together. Now, I wouldn't assume that they would look good together, so that's sort of the, reeling it back in. Kemba's first game back in forever. So, no Kemba slander is necessary, but Jaylen Brown and Kemba didn't look good together. It looks like they couldn't play off of each other, and I'm chalking that up, and we've seen them play off each other well in the past, so that's why I'm okay with it, but they didn't look good tonight, but I think that's because Kemba just came back. Kylon saying Celtics clearly wanted to go watch the Chiefs-Browns game. I mean, they had other interests for sure. They're probably thinking, oh, we got to go get home. We got to get the situation ready. We'll watch the Chiefs-Browns game, and then we'll get everything ready to watch TB12 take on Breeze. You know, they probably have like plans. These guys are probably all going over each other's houses because, never mind. All NBA players embody and respect those new COVID rules, I'm sure. But they definitely had something else going on because they didn't focus on basketball today. That's sure as shit. You're saying it was ass awful. Adnan saying Smart still jacking up shots. Just imagine when Tatum comes back, Brown has to be 2 option. And I think he will be. Like, we've seen it, guys, and I know there's going to be overreaction. Listen to this stream. I feel like I might be breaking my microphone. If you have headphones on or anything and I'm screaming, sorry, but turn down the volume because I don't know how much better it's going to get. Everyone's going to be overreacting to this game. Completely. I've already seen it on Twitter. People are saying that, like, Kemba didn't look like he was gelling well with the offense, blah, blah, blah. Like, because that is the one sort of difference here. Kemba came back today and they stunk. Guys, it's going to be okay. Not worried. It was a trap game. A Sunday. This is the ideal trap game. I'm not trying to, defend the Celtics here, but a Sunday at 1 o'clock versus the Knicks, who absolutely stink, that's a trap game. So, I don't know. I don't want to chalk it up to, oh, yeah, no, it's just a trap game, not a big deal. Like, no. Guess what? If you're an elite team, a good team, you don't get involved in as many trap games as you don't even get involved in this type of a trap game. If it's a trap game, you lose by 8 points to a team you should have beat. 30 points, you just got your what's kicked up to your throat. That's not a trap game. That's an ass whooping. So, I don't know, man. It was tough. There's going to be overreaction. I'm going to be overreacting, but even, look at the stream. Even the shitting on the Celtics I'm doing, it is with a smile on my face because it was a preposterous game. I'm not worried about the Celtics long term, but that was a preposterous game. Jeez. I'm fired up. I'm red as a lobster. We got the lobster coming back here. Jay Caesar saying, okay, I'm not happy that Brad went back to in the corner Jalen. Yeah, I just think Jalen, he's the leading scorer, right? Why don't we get to the box score while we're on the topic? Jalen Brown, I think, obviously 25 points from him. I'll blow this up for you guys so you could see a little bit better. 25 points from Jalen. Nice. 45% from the field. Nice. 33% from 3. Like, it's all you know what I mean? But it wasn't a good showing from anyone. So Jalen Brown, 25, it's going to bode well for a season average type of thing. But that wasn't a good game from him. It wasn't a good game from anyone. So... And I don't know if it was a Brad Stevens issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Brad Stevens dropped the ball here. I just think everyone came completely unprepared to play. From the tip, you could tell that game was one of those games. If they weren't going to get blown up by 30, it was going to be some sort of a close game against the Knicks, which it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been. So, yeah, anyways, box score. Jalen Brown, 25 points. Marcus Smart with 10 points. I'm not even kidding. I didn't look at this box score before this. The fact that we jumped from 25 and I was searching real time here to try and find the next leading scorer, 10 points. It doesn't surprise me. They scored 2 points in the entire game. But Daniel Tice with 7, Kemba Walker with 9. Kemba looked all right, I think. I think he had a lot of good plays, a lot of good passes that guys weren't ready for. Javonte Green with 8. The one shout out I'll give here, and this is the only positive I'm taking from that game, Tristan Thompson, and I tweeted it. Tristan Thompson they're getting beat by 100 points. He was still grinding down low. 5 offensive rebounds. I'm gonna give Tristan Thompson a little bit of credit there. Let's move up here. Let's look at the Knicks. Holy crap! It just never ending. It's never ending. These guys. It's like Julius Randle's gonna do what he's gonna do, but then you got guys like RJ Barrett going off, Emmanuel Quickie who went off. Obi Toppin actually looked really good at times. These box scores should be flipped. 100%. But they're not. Let's get to some more comments. Let's see. Adnan on top of his Jalen needs to be the second option. We saw what happened when he was a 3-4 option last year. I think Jalen's going to be the second option. I don't think we have to worry about it, to be honest. Wang Yi saying one of the worst he's ever seen. These games happen, but that doesn't mean we're not allowed to criticize. Yeah, exactly. There we go. We got the OG of OGs in the stream. Wang Yi saying, listen, these games obviously happen, but we don't have to just brush them off and be like, no big deal. Let's not even have the post-game stream. We're looking at these games as individuals. We're looking at the games, in the entirety of the season, and we're looking at that little part that I just said, the former there. These games as individuals, that stunk. If we look at this big meat and potatoes over here, it's not that big of a deal. But we're looking at the game, and it stunk. Jay Caesar saying you can't just use Jalen Brown like that and keep him in the corner. I thought we moved on from that. Totally. You would think Jalen, and I don't know, man. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but did Jalen kind of tuck it between his leg and walk around with some hip sway? Like, did he see Kemba come back and was he a little intimidated? Because the Jaylen Brown we've seen all season long, literally all season long, was not a guy that would even let himself go sit in the corner. And the only difference in terms of where the ball's going and who's it going through, Kemba came back. So I don't know if Jaylen was trying to feel it out or whatnot, but, no Jason Tatum, Celtics playing the Knicks, I'm assuming Jaylen's going to go off. And he didn't. So I don't know. Steven saying one of the worst games I've ever watched for sure. And then maybe the same Steven. Your last name's on a Periscope, but did he make the transition to YouTube? That's what I love. If you're in the chat right now on Periscope, you gotta make the transition over to YouTube. I just tweeted out the link, guys. That's where we're doing these streams and moving forward, so you better get used to it. So subscribe to the channel and like this stream. But Steven says it was just such a bad showing. Matthew says, I'm praying Tatum comes back when we play Philly. Yeah, I don't know what the latest on that is now that you say it too. I hope so too. I mean, this team's so much better than what we just watched, even without Tatum. They should be able to whoop the Knicks even without Tatum. Fair, right? Can we agree on that? But it's not the best to not have Tatum and then go play Philly and be like, we're coming off an absolute blowout to the Knicks. Let's see how we do. Like, I don't know. Jay's saying, I'm worried that Brad will revert to the offense, keeping Jaylen in the corner when Kemba plays. See, to me, I don't know. I could just be the idiot in the room here. I think Jaylen's earned that number 2 spot, and, Kemba's going to be the third option. But it didn't look like that today. So, Adnan saying it, Jay, you're saying it. I think you guys got a lot of credence saying that because it should have been, Jaylen the number 1 and Kemba the number 2 if that's the case. Kemba Walker, the way he was playing was the ball was moving through him, which is totally fair, I guess. He's the point guard. But Jaylen, so many possessions was like, I don't want the ball. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if that's a Jaylen thing, a Brad thing. I think you guys are pinning it on Brad. I think Jaylen Brown's got to say, hey, man, mine's bigger than yours. Let's go. I'm ready to be the number 2 option. Give me the ball. So, and not as hostile as that, I guess, but still. All right. Steven saying one of the worst he's ever seen. I don't care. Our roster should be able to beat the Knicks. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, that is the definition of looking at this game. You can be frustrated with that because you can even strip out Jaylen Brown from this game and you still should be able to beat the Knicks. Maybe I'm like exaggerating there, but you should be able to beat the Knicks even if Kemba's out, even if Tatum's out, even if maybe you want one of the 3, so leave Jaylen Brown in there. But damn, like to get and also, guys, we're not talking about just beating the Knicks here. How about we start slow and don't lose to the Knicks by 30 points? That's the crazy part, too. We're talking about you should be able to beat the Knicks, which is true. We should be able to beat the Knicks, but to lose by 30, that's a whole nother animal. That's a whole nother animal, and that animal stinks. Damn. Jay's on that topic saying it's not the best way to utilize Brown's skills. I totally agree. Charlie saying this double big lineup needs to go 1,000,000%. Now, I agree with that, but there are teams that you would handpick and say, I think some of the double, like some of the matchups make sense for a double big lineup. I think the Knicks could fall into that category, but who am I to say that it works against the Knicks? Look at what happened in front of us, right? Jay Caesar saying watching Quickie and seeing Neesmith equals pain. Yeah, Neesmith is, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm on here defending him all the time, but he doesn't look like he has it. But again, no one looks like he has it. But at the same time, that's the type of game he should come into and be like, all right, let me just, zero, you know what's given. Let me just make some shots. And he looks kind of timid out there. Jay's saying, I almost rather a big playmaking guard who can defend like Lonzo Ball with JB and JT. Yeah, like I don't hate that, guys, but this isn't the Kemba slander game, Like Kemba just got back from the injury. He played all right, if you ask me. He looked like he had his quickness and whatnot, and he was playing in a game where no Celtics came ready to play too, including, him to some degree. So I'm not ready to be like, oh, Kemba's not the guy for the job. Like, we haven't seen Kemba with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. We don't know how it's going to play out. We're basing the Kemba coming back into the rotation on one of the shittiest games we've seen in a long time. So, and I'm sure you guys get that. Like I said, we're criticizing the game, but still. All right, we got a lot of chat to catch up on. We're doing it, though. Boy. Okay. Donovan saying, left a work meeting to see the game and never felt so much pain. Man, Man, that's one of those games where you'd rather be in a work meeting, almost falling asleep, than watching that Celtics game. I'm almost envious that you had the option to be in a work meeting and not have to watch that game. Kylan saying we threw the game away for Kemba. Brad sucks. I don't know. Come on. I think it's an overreaction. Gear says, I hate Sunday afternoon games. Jay saying, go get Lonzo Ball. He won't be a defensive liability. Matthews coming in, which I would stand on here. He says, we don't need to trade anyone. Guys, anyone tearing down the season for this game, now you're ludicrous. You know what I mean? Like, that's not where we need to go here. It wasn't that Kemba came back and the rotations didn't work tonight or today. It was that the game was a terrible game for everyone, and the Knicks played well too. That's the annoying part. So I get it. I get that we're fired up, and like I said, irritated. I said this ruins my Sunday. I said it myself, but I'm not jumping to the fire Brad Stevens. I'm not jumping into the trade away everyone. I'm not jumping to the Kemba can't hang with Jason and Jalen. Let's see. Charlie saying that Neesmith's going to be better than Quickie when it's all said and done. Kylan saying it's all Brad's fault. Guys, I don't know. Jay's agreeing that it seemed like Jalen didn't want to step on Kemba's feet. That's the vibe I got. Now, we can talk about how Kemba's not good for the team, blah, 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 if we see it more than once. But I did get the vibe that Jalen was like, I don't really know what to do with you, Kemba. Like, oh, why don't you go rock out? And maybe that was the game plan, to be honest. You bring Kemba back after an injury. You're playing an absolute dog water Knicks team. Maybe there was a conversation before of like, hey, Kemba, you go do your thing out there. You know what I mean? You go do your thing. We're good. Maybe, but, the minute you get punched in the face, maybe you try and switch that up. I don't know. Michael's saying Smart needs to lead by passing, not shooting. Yeah, we're going to go back and forth with Smart on this all year long because he said it himself. I'm not going to take dumb shots and whatnot. Well, I hope Marcus Smart understands that it's not just the threes. The threes are a big one, but him doing these spin move layups and stuff, and I say it on here. I feel like I'm trademarking it now. Marcus Smart, it's not necessarily the stupid shots. It's doing too much. Marcus Smart's so good at what he does, and he can be good on offense too. He's a really good playmaker. But the minute he crosses the line and starts doing too much, then you have a Marcus Smart that you're not getting the return that you need to from. It's the too much that we need to worry about. It's not necessarily just the jacking threes, because even if he eliminates the jacking threes, he still sometimes does too much. And the free throw percentage was terrible. You're right. Let's see. Jay Caesar saying Kylon, yup, Lonzo would be perfect for JT and JB in that playmaking. Yeah, totally. But guys, I mean, I feel like we're deflating a lot of air out of Kemba's tires after one game where, he just came back from knee injury. And then two, we're putting a lot of gas into Lonzo Ball's car here. Like, Lonzo Ball isn't the second coming in the perfect. He is the type of guard, if he plays well, the type of guard that would fit with Jalen and Jason. But I think you are a better team if you have a Kemba Walker over a Lonzo Ball. And I think a lot of people are going to realize that as the season progresses, because there's no doubt in my mind that Kemba can play with Jason and Jalen. If that doesn't happen, Kylon, Jay Caesar, you guys can come on the stream and rub it in my face. All right, I'm giving you that green light. But let's not jump to the Kemba stinks before we see it in action. Hey, I'm not saying you're wrong, really. I'm just saying I don't agree with it right now, and I'm saying that it's too early to say that, even if it is going to be true. Wongy's saying, I think Tice looks bad on defense. I kind of feel like Brad is the big reason for that. He probably has him playing the 4 in practice, mainly working on his offense. Yeah, Tice even said he doesn't like playing the 4. Like, and I don't know. Tice, we talked about it in the last stream too. I don't want to go out and seekingly trade Tice, but he isn't really like a crucial piece. Like, couldn't you see Tice getting ripped off of this team, and then all of a sudden it's like, don't really miss him. And that's something from a guy that's defended Tice, that he was an unsung hero of last year. I like Tice, but I'm kind of sick of doesn't get the call. You know what I mean? It's like he's not just this like staple piece of the team right now. So I don't know. I think I just probably didn't really answer the question, but I don't know. Michael's saying Ojale and Grant should only shoot corner threes, never perimeter. Yeah, let them shoot those shorter threes, because we've seen Semi actually shoot well from the corner, and then I feel like there's a couple times that he took one from like half court almost. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you're still Semi Ojale. Like, I think early in the game, Semi jacked like 10 threes. I was like, what are you doing? Guys, I'm seeing a lot of Periscope comments. Come on, if you're having fun in the stream, if you like disagreeing with me, if you like talking with me, head over to the YouTube link that I tweeted out. That's where these streams are going moving forward. I get that it's not as convenient. You can be right on Twitter, but I do have to encourage it because pretty soon, and that's not my doing. Twitter's getting rid of Periscope pretty soon. So that's why we're trying to move people over to YouTube. Just FYI. JC was saying the answer is simply Lonzo Ball to the Celtics. Jay, I never knew you were a Lonzo Ball absolute stan. These years of the streams and the post games, I never knew you were a huge Lonzo guy. Matthew saying the crazy part is it was so unexpected because we blew out the Magic last game. I mean, yeah, I even said this could be a trap game, not even thinking it was going to be. Like, it could be. But, damn, they just got smacked. Kylan saying Kemba can't defend for shit. Yeah, I mean, that's true, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and bark up your guys' sleeve. That's not a saying. Wish I could reel that one back. But, tell you guys that Kemba Walker is a absolute defender. No. The only way Kemba strives is if he's in a team defense, which the Celtics can have. And that's what I'm kind of banking on. So I'm not here to try and say Kemba Walker is the complete basketball player. Lonzo Ball's a better defender than him. He's bigger, he's stronger. But I think some of the stuff that Kemba can do, Lonzo obviously can't. And that's if we're making that comparison still. Michael says Kemba had a great second quarter. Kemba had a good game. He had a couple nice passes. He looked explosive. I'm not mad at all at Kemba, but I'm also not trying to say that he was amazing. But Kemba Walker came in and, forget the numbers, forget any of the turnovers or the stats. Came in and looked explosive. He looked comfortable. He looked healthy. That's what we're looking for. This is pretty well said. Michael's saying that Pritchard looked like a rookie today. Yeah, he did. That was the first sort of Pritchard, like, oh, yikes type of game, But again, everyone looked like that. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, these guys look like rookies today, for Christ's sakes. Doug saying Knicks played great D and Quickie is good. I think it was a mix of Knicks played good defense and the Celtics couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, and Quickie looked good. He did. I didn't know too much about him. I knew who he was. I'd seen, a couple clips on Twitter and whatnot of some of the stuff he's been doing all year, and he proved it to me. Yeah, I think he was pretty good. Oh boy. Jay's talking about, he's thinking about the James Harden switch in the playoffs with Harden. Wait, the James Harden switch in the playoffs with Harden. Hey, for once, I didn't read the comment incorrect, Jay. I don't even know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying, but that ain't English. But you're pretty much saying, like, Kemba Walker switching on to James Harden or switching on to Kevin Durant or switching on to even Kyrie Irving. Yeah, it's going to be a problem. Kemba Walker's not a defensive player, for sure. Let's see. Kylon saying that's why Brad sucks. That was the game plan, in my opinion. Why cool off JB? Back to me saying that, it was probably like, hey, Kemba, get in there and get initiated. That's a bad one. Yeah, I'm just not ready to say Brad Stevens sucks right now, but I think that some of the Brad Stevens haters probably have some credence here because, okay, Brad Stevens rank coming up, ready? And you guys are that are OGs of the stream, you've heard me say it before. Brad Stevens has no way to get this team energized or get this team going. He is an absolute X's and O's player or coach. Brad Stevens has no way. They're getting smacked by the Knicks, and this is Brad Stevens. That ain't it. The one knock I've always had on Brad Stevens is his bullcrap sort of, what's going to happen's going to happen. Like, no. Coach, get your team going. Get loud in the locker room. Yell at a guy. Call people out. Do something. And he doesn't. So if there was any sort of game plan or, Brad Stevens didn't do any of that behind closed doors, then yikes, it's a knock on him. But it's one game. It's one game. And that's a fact, by the way, talking about how he doesn't do that type of thing. Jaylen Brown was on, or Jason Tatum was on a podcast, and I watched like the clip of it, and they said, what's the difference between Coach K and Brad Stevens? And Jason Tatum goes, well, Coach K was really energetic. He'd get into you. He'd really motivate you. Motivate. He used that word. Brad Stevens is more of an X's and O's guy. He said that. This is Jason Tatum's word. I think it was like JJ Redick's podcast. So you can go find the clip. I'm not making this up. He literally said, and Brad Stevens is more of an X's and O's guy. And, you can't really, he doesn't really yell at you or do anything. He tries to help you rather than, motivate you. And I think that says a lot. Now, Brad Stevens is a great X's and O's guy, and you don't always need the motivator. but sometimes it comes back to bite you like this. So, I don't know. I'm not making any decisions there. Like, I don't think we fire Brad Stevens because they lost to the Knicks, but it is sort of like the icing on the cake to always believe that Brad Stevens isn't the motivator, and then hear your best player, Jason Tatum, say, yeah, no, my college coach really got into us more and inspired us more. Let's see. Michael is not having the Lonzo talk. Too much baggage. Move on. Jay saying, only if Kemba is going to be healthy, I agree. We don't know about his knee. Hey, that's fair. That's one thing I've completely, failed to bring up in defending Kemba. Obviously, you take, and we'll keep using this example, you take a Lonzo Ball if Kemba's going to be an in and out of the lineup type of guy, and that sucks. I'm a huge Kemba guy, but totally fair. I'll give you that one, because if Kemba's going to be the guy that you can never rely on, then that ain't it. You know what I mean? So I hear you there. I think that's a fair point, and that's something I was kind of ignoring through the argument. Kylan saying Tice looks lost out there. Jay Caesar's asking what's wrong with Lonzo. Melo has been balling. Those guys are elite passers. Melo is pretty dope. I'm not going to lie. I kind of wanted to hate him, but he just looks like he sees things a little bit differently. And that's what Lonzo looks like at times too, but I don't know. I don't want to talk Ball brothers in here. I see Jay going off on it. I don't want to do it. Grant Williams is a Scarface ball player and has no upside. Yeah, I don't know what Grant Williams' upside is. It feels like every time he has a couple good games, and good being the key words, he just stinks. Like today, he stunk. Like Grant Williams brought nothing to the table today. And there's a lot of games like that. So I don't know. I don't know. This is the type of game where you're supposed to see good things out of your bench guys that you're going to rely on. Yeah, like hell you are. But again, I'm going to keep falling back on we saw nothing out of anyone today. Anyone. So I don't know. Let's see. Matthew says Semi and Peyton weren't there and we needed them the most. Yeah, we definitely needed the same guys that we were having step up all year long, right? So Peyton Pritchard, obviously, and then Semi Ojeleye has been a sneaky, absolute step up. And he was nowhere to be found. He stepped down today. Pritchard, same thing, but it was one game. Michael saying our Nets starting five will go toe-to-toe in the Nets conference, or our starting five will go toe-to-toe in the Nets conference finals. I think the Nets are like the best team in the league now, and that's just me. I've already made the claim that, if it works out, they're the best team in the league. Obviously, a lot can happen, and what can hit the fan. But I don't know if you need defense in today's NBA. If you can score 130 points on any given night, I think you can beat a lot of teams. So, did I say the NBA? I meant to say in the conference. Like, I think the Celtics going to match up tough against the Nets. But I think the Nets can beat, the Bucks, the Heat, the Sixers, the Celts. But I don't think they're unbeatable. I just think a 7-game series. 7-game series with Durant, Harden, and then possibly Kyrie. Those guys can each pick a game out of the 4 they need to win and say, yeah, I'll drop 40 in that game. You drop 40 in this game. I'll drop 40 in this, and then we'll all just drop 30 in this game. It's kind of crazy. Crazy. This isn't a Nets stream. And that is like a fat chance type of thing that it does just work itself out because there's a lot of personalities going on there. But hey, Jay's loving those Ball kids. Those are amazing playmakers. The two of them. LiAngelo Ball stinks. I think he's just getting a shot in the NBA, right? Didn't he just get signed or something? He stinks. Water break, sorry. Kylan saying we don't need a score at PG anymore. Jason Tatum and JB are so elite. Yeah, totally. But I think that it doesn't hurt to have a score at PG. You know what I mean? Like, I think it helps to have 3 20-point scorers on your team rather than 2 and a point guard that can give them the ball. Donovan saying, if having Lonzo with us means I get to see LeVar in Boston, I'm all for it. That man is a legend. It would be entertaining. We got Tristan Thompson that we're thinking brings some sort of Kardashian baggage, right? And then if we get Lonzo here, which, I don't know, did Kylon and Jay Caesar just team up to make this a rumor, Lonzo Ball to Boston? I think that might have just happened, guys. But anyways, if he brings them there, all of a sudden we have the ball in the family here. Holy crap. Jay saying, I'm nervous about Kemba's knee going forward. I'm worried about his defense liability in playoffs. I'm not worried about the defensive liability as I am the injury. Like, I think that they play team defense, and I think that they can cover it up. Obviously, you'd want a lockdown defender, but have you noticed how good the Celtics are at switching and whatnot? Obviously, it comes back to bite them plenty, and you're like, oh, Kemba just got bodied. But if you look across the league, the Celtics are pretty damn good at it, covering up their defensive mishaps. Matthew saying, I remember the old Brad Stevens when he would scream every second, when he was into it. That's the type of thing. Now, this is again, we'll go back to the Brad Stevens take. I know it's because we're behind on the chat, so I say something, you guys respond to it, and then all of a sudden, it's like Inception. Then I respond to it, and, we're here we are on a hamster wheel. But the thing with Brad Stevens is, and I've always said this, I don't want him to be fired, but I'd love him to not be 100% comfortable. Like, have some degree in your body of, I have to coach for my job, right? Like, that'd be nice. I don't get that vibe whatsoever from him. Like, I think he's just absolutely out to lunch and says, I'm here forever. I'm a good coach. He definitely is a good coach. We're not, if we're saying that Brad Stevens stinks, you're wrong, because he's a good coach, above average coach. But for him to just be like, oh yeah, I'm cool. Like, I don't need to coach for my job whatsoever. I don't like the comfortable Brad Stevens. I don't know. I feel like every time I talk now, and because it's a lot of disagreement in the chat, I'm just like, I don't know, kind of covering my ass. Like, yeah, I disagree with you, but I don't know. Ev, I think it's because we are East Coast guys. LOL, Brad is from Indiana. That could be. Listen to me on this stream. I'm like, I'm already losing my voice on this stream. Meanwhile, there's probably people in Indiana being like, Brad Stevens, oh my God, is he a firecracker? That guy talks 6 times at a party, and he just explodes. So that could be. He definitely has more of that Indiana sort of vibe to him, where it's like, all right, laid back, don't get your panties in a bunch type of thing. And here we are in East Coast just ripping him. So I don't know. Michael Smith, Casey Jones never yelled or screamed 3 titles. I mean, sure. But does Brad Stevens have the team that Casey Jones had? Like, I get it, and I'm not trying to, RIP, seriously, pour one out, not actually, for Casey Jones, but, and he was a good coach. Like, he was definitely a good coach. I'm not trying to rip that, but, like, at the same time, I feel like you didn't need a yelling coach when you had the personalities, 1, in that huddle, and 2, you had the stars that you had there. You know what I mean? Like, I have to imagine it's a little bit easier than not easy to coach one of the best teams in NBA history. Not that I'm disagreeing. I do think that, Casey Jones never yelling kind of paints the picture of, okay, well, Brad can do it too. And like I've said, Brad's a good coach. But 2 different teams here. Like, the Celtics are still growing and getting to their peak. You're looking at the Casey Jones team of a team that it's like, well, it's what do you need to yell about? And one funny story, right? And this paints the perfect picture. Larry Bird went to the huddle or something. I've heard this story 100 times, but I'll paraphrase. He gets into the huddle, during a timeout, and he's like, "Give me the ball, guys." Casey Jones says, "Larry, be quiet and sit down." And then he just turns to his team. Casey Jones goes, "Guys, give Larry the ball." See, that's just like, I don't know, a little fun story. I'm sure you guys have heard that. Donovan saying Brad Stevens acting like the substitute teacher. I didn't even read the rest of the comment. Oh, he gives me, I'm not kidding. These are the type of games where I get strong substitute teacher vibes from Brad. But he says Brad Stevens acting like the substitute teacher that had to call a real teacher in when the class getting rowdy. Kylan saying Brad is Mark Jackson. We need our Steve Kerr. I say it all the time. I don't know. I don't think you don't get rid of your Mark Jackson until you can get the Steve Kerr. Like, who's the Steve Kerr? You're willing to take a team who is doing really, really well, playing really well, top of the East team, made it to multiple conference finals, superstars getting better and better and better. You're willing to say, okay, get rid of Brad Stevens. Let's take a flyer on some other coach and hope it works. Man, I don't know if I'm in that boat. Michael saying there are 25 teams that would love Brad Stevens as their coach. Yeah, he's one of the best coaches in the league. This is not a fire Brad Stevens game. It's a crappy game all around. D-Ron saying nice hat. Yep, it's one of my new pickups. A lot of people are shitting on it on Twitter. I figure you guys are jealous because it's a fire hat. Jay's going back to we drafted Grant Williams over Brandon Clark. Unforgivable. He said that for a couple of years now, or I guess a year. Kyle on semis kept me quiet all year. Definitely been sneaky good, 100%. I'm trying to catch up in the comments, so I'm trying to fly through these, all right? Sometimes I look at Grant, this is from Wongy. Sometimes I look at Grant and get really annoyed. It's like he thinks he's better than he is at times. Is this just me, or does he kind of walk like he thinks he's better than he is? And he complains to the ref sometimes like he's better than he is. I get that vibe, too. Jay's saying that Brooklyn stays healthy and the C's don't make a roster move, we're not beating the Nets. Yeah, probably. If they stay healthy, if they work out, not necessarily even health, if they just work out, that's going to be tough to beat. Let's see. Ainge would never want LeVar near him. I feel like that's probably true. Lonzo is a head case. I don't really hear anything with since he left LA. I think that's I'm trying to read through these too quickly. You're saying this game show how important our depth is. Yeah, this is the type of game where you have to rely on your depth, and then, if it doesn't work out like it didn't tonight, it's kind of like, oh boy, could use a couple extra bench guys that maybe had some play. Like even Jeff Teague, though, I was expecting, him to do a little something. He did a little nothing. Just imagine a lockdown facilitating point guard. It doesn't have to be Landro and a true rim protector. That would help the team, but I think Kemba's a facilitating point guard. He's not a defender, but no one's giving Kemba the credit that he deserves. It's his first game back. This team's going to be good. I'm not worried about it. Annoyed and irritated at that game, but it wasn't like a Kemba Walker sucks game. Jeez, guys. Come on. Come on. It's kind of like when we start to get good and at a playing style, Brad decides to switch it up. That's true. I've criticized Brad Stevens more than so many people, but I'm still not at the fire Brad Stevens mark. JC is saying, all right, I've got to go watch Baker Mahomes. See you later. Enjoy your Sunday, everyone. Yeah, guys, I think I'm going to start closing down the stream, too. I appreciate everyone watching. A little bit shorter. We've been going for an hour after games lately. So shout out to you guys for keeping the comments rolling in. But, yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Whew. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you're watching on a different platform, head over to YouTube, subscribe to it, like the stream, and then once this is posted, you can go back and rewatch it, comment down below and whatnot. But seriously, it's a blessing for me to have to come on here. Like I started the stream and said this ruined my Sunday, but if I come in and have a good time on the stream, boom. That's the thing. It's like now all of a sudden I've turned it around, and I owe that to you guys. So shout out to you guys. Michael saying, good point about Casey. I probably could have won coaching in 84 and 86. See, and I don't want to take away from Casey. Like I said, RIP and everything like that, but it's different, like you got, like, it's different. Michael saying, love the new podcast with the other dudes. Yeah, guys, if you haven't checked it out, we have and this is me pumping air in our tires. I get it. One of the best Celtics podcasts right now. It's me, Dante Turo, and then Riley from Color Sports. Like, I love the podcast. I think that thing has the chance to take it to the moon. So if you have not listened to that, make sure to check it out. It's called Tommy Points. It's in my bio. It's on YouTube. Check that out. It's my plug. And then obviously, follow anything I do. We're trying to create a lot of content, with COVID, everything like that. I've been making more videos on YouTube. I've been making more, podcasts and whatnot. And we just had this creation of the Tommy Points podcast. It's pretty damn cool. So go check that out, guys. Thank you very much. Like I said, it's a blessing to hop on here and be able to vent about the Celtics and then feel a lot better about this team, even if we had some disagreements, about Kemba and whatnot. But, it's awesome. And I owe that to you guys. So thank you. And I will catch you guys in the next stream. Hopefully we're talking about a dub. But I'll catch you guys later.